Well, things really heating up out there right now, Gary. Ike Davis coming up. Let's see what he can do. Well, late in the game right here, I mean, you look for mistakes, you look for what you can capitalize on. And that walk now is the tying run on base.
On the way. That's strike two, and he's behind. Hunter in charge. Now what you're looking for, Steve, that ground ball, so that walk that we saw earlier doesn't hurt you.
Well, that's right. As a hitter, you're looking for him to get a ball up in the zone that you can drive and try to hit it off the wall to drive in there. Well, this is where you want to go with two strikes on the hitter.
Oh, Taylor, here we go. Ground ball to Davis. The second, there's one. And that's two. A double play.
Well, they treated their hometown crowd to a foot.
And it's that time in our broadcast. And Steve, that ought to send these folks. Davis into the batter's box. Well, Marlins coming in off a loss. That tied the three-game set at one apiece. Chance to take the series against the Padres. And Maven one away now. And he looks that runner back to second base. Something to look forward to. This Wednesday, we'll see Josh Hamilton and the Texas Rangers. They find themselves at Angels Stadium of Anaheim to face the Angels. And that'll be a 12:30 p.m. Eastern start time.
Really looking forward to calling that game. It's got a chance to be a very interesting matchup between those two teams.
First pitch was a strike, 0-1 now.
Well, he wasn't.
Swung on, contact made. Venable. Two retired here. Here comes the runner for the plate. He throws. A run comes home. Friedberg at the plate now. Definitely some clutch production we're seeing out of this lineup, Steve.
Now, Gary, we just saw a quality at bat right there. That's some clutch hitting. They needed a big hit. They got it, and now we're tied. Oh!
How about our mound performance today, Steve?
You know, you throw that fastball down, the hitter's got to go down and get it. Because he's changed their eye level, they just can't get down far enough. A lot of ground ball outs.
And Blake's batting. He's going to come on as a pinch hitter.
Well, now hitting for the pitcher in this situation, he just has to try to get on base and see if he can't get something going offensively.
A strike to start the back half of the 8th here, 0-1.
Gary, I think they got to look at anything they can. If there's an inside pitch, get hit by the pitch.
Now a bouncing ball to short, and Cabrera picks it up. And that sets down Blake. And they've got the lead in this ball game, and now they'll get two right-handers up in the pen.
Well, I want to see if they can protect this lead here. You don't ask your bullpen to win the game, but they have to hold the lead in this situation.
Taylor up at the plate.
I'll tell you what, this is one of those decisions you can go either way. He's pitched pretty well to this point, but it is getting late. Do you want to take any chances? The manager decides to go to the pen.
Grounded out his last time up. Hasn't had much success yet in this game. He's hoping to get something this time. Swing and a miss on the fastball, second out in the inning.
Gary, he's not messing around, going right at him on the 0-2 count. He didn't waste anything. He just went right for the jugular.
Here are the teams with the highest batting averages for this month, courtesy of State Farm. Number 1, the Rockies. The Marlins second. Third spot, the Brewers. Fourth, the Mets. And fifth best, it's the Dodgers.
Now, some of the better offensive teams right here, Gary, guys that really can put the ball in play. It speaks to the length and depth of the lineup to hit for that kind of batting average.
It's an important job leading off that home half here in the 9th. This crowd is restless and ready for that game-winning run. On the way. Hit in the air to left center. One down.
Well, offensively right now, you've got to force the issue. You're running out of time. You've got 2 outs left in this game, Gary. I think that from a managerial perspective, he's got to think about putting runners in motion if he gets them on and try to make something happen.
Robinson batting now. Last time up, he drove in a run with a sac fly. Drove in a run earlier in the game. And the first pitch was a strike. Got about 0-1 right now.
Now, if I'm batting right here, I know the pitcher's tendencies. In the scouting report, I'm looking for a fastball in the 0-1 count.
And Mayberry batting. He'll grab a bat and hit here. Taps this one foul to the right. Slider swung out and missed. 2 down.
Get a chance to take a look at this slider right here, Gary.
That was not a good-looking swing on that pitch.
Well, good at bat starts with good swings, and bad at bats end with bad swings. I think he'd want that last swing back if he had the choice.
Friedberg up now. Last time up, flew out. And that's going to bring his tourist to the plate. He'll be the pinch hitter.
In the chess game that managers play, there's no better piece than having a switch hitter that can come off the bench because it neutralizes the pitching decisions of the other manager.
Swung on line to right center field. And that's going to be a base hit. Tying run is on. He's going to try to stretch it.
Well, anytime you're sitting on the bench, it's hard to tell what a pitcher's really throwing unless you get in that batter's box. You come off the bench very cold like he was and delivers. That is
line shot into center field. And he's on the potential winning run. Get ready.
Well, a great piece of work right there to get that dub and put himself in scoring position. He got a fastball and took a good rip at it. Nice, short, compact swing.
It's Emos at the plate. Flew out last time. The throw, not in time, and he is in there. And they will tag him out near second. They pick him.
Well, this is the situation. For a young hitter like Cameron Maven can really change the outcome of the game with one swing of the bat.
Top half of this extra inning, and this is where these battles between hitters and pitchers become very intense.
If you talk to both of these managers, Gary, they'd say, I want
Swing liner back up the middle. And that is in there, the go-ahead run on base. He's trying for second.
Well, it's so important for your team to get guys on base and in scoring position early in the inning. And that's exactly what he did with that double.
And we've got Alonso now batting. And he is batting here late in the game in a crucial spot.
Well, you've got a base runner. You don't know if you're going to get another opportunity. The game may be on the line right here.
There he goes towards third. And he is out at third. What a throw. Watch this replay. Watch how quickly the catcher is up and gets rid of it.
Well, he has great footwork behind the plate, avoiding the hitter and getting the out.
This one's grounded near third, foul. Alonso, ground ball. Davis picks it. And he steps on first. That's the second out. In the batter's box, it's Blanks. He singled and later scored in his last time up. Swings and misses the slider, 0-1.
Well, you see that pitch coming in, and it starts at the center of the plate, and all of a sudden, as soon as you start your swing, that's when that slider starts breaking away, gets out of the strike zone away. He can't stop his swing and swings and misses.
There's a swing and a liner, and Taylor puts that away to retire the side. No runs, one hit, and no one left on base. We're still tied here in Miami. And it's Buck batting. And starts him out here. Swings and grounds this one to the right side. Foul. Kingley will grab a bat and hit here.
As the pinch hitter comes into the game now, it officially closes the book on this guy's day.
Street gets set and delivers. That fastball gets by him on the first pitch, 0-1. Goodwood hits it right back up through the pitcher. It gets through. The potential winning runs on board. He's going to try to stretch it. I think there's an issue of how much is left in his tank right here, so that bullpen's going to get active.
You know, it's still early in the game, though, so I'd be surprised if they make this move this early. They may just...
Well, he's running, taking off for second. Hundley, and he is safe at first. He's on board. They say bunting is a lost art. Steve, this is how you do it.
Well, it's in the right spot, and an element of surprise as well allows him to beat it out and beat the throw from the catcher.
McGilberry now digging a hole as he comes to the plate. He flew out his last time up. One out with runners at first and second. And the first pitch, here's a swing and a fly ball to right center. And that's going to be another hit for them. Now here comes a walk to the plate.
Well, the hometown fans going home in celebratory fashion, Gary, as they win this one in the final inning, getting it done in an unbelievable game.
Now look at our player of the game, a standout performance deserving of the recognition today.
And a lot of these times you get multi-hit games, but they really don't mean anything. This one, though, was very important because everything he did constituted them scoring runs. He set the table, he scored runs, and that's why he's our player of the game.
And, Steve, I want to send these folks home happy.
Oh, no question about it. They get the win in a close game, a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, and ready for the next one.
And we hope you've enjoyed today's 2K sports broadcast of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I am a man up in the air. And I run around downtown and act like I don't care. So when you see me flying by,
Davis. To the batter's box. Singled home a run in his last at bat. One out with runners at first and second. The first pitch. There's a swing and a drive deep to left field. As he drops back, runners on the move. Make sure to catch this one next Tuesday. It's going to be Troy Tulowitzki And the Colorado Rockies, the St. Louis Cardinals coming to town. That one's going to start at 8:30.
Okay, that's going to be a great matchup, and everybody's going to want to tune into that one. I'm looking forward to it.
And Mayberry batting. Miami lost yesterday in the 3-game series after you drop those first two. Now is the time against the Mets. Kingery will grab a bat and hit here.
With 2 runners on base and a chance.
That one swung on, hit in the air to deep right center field. This one beyond him. It's going to be extra bases. Tie ball game. He comes in to score. That's going to break the tie. They lead by 1. Throw offline. He is in there third. And with that right-hander warming up in the bullpen here, I'm not sure quite what they're thinking.
Well, with the left-handed hitter on deck, he's probably getting ready for hitters later in the lineup. A chance to find out what these guys are made of right now, Gary.
Steve, really good vibes here. Hitting is contagious, and when you do it late in a ball game and get a lead as they have, great stuff.
Well, they were given an opening, and they took it. And now they have a lead late in the game.
The pitch, a line drive toward short. And that's the third out. Tejada grabs it. They pick up 2-3 hits, strand a man. Leadoff hitter is Scott Hairston. Reached on an error his last time around. First pitch on the way. There's a swing and a ground ball. Emus out. 1 away now.
Well, taking a look through the National League, let's see where the Mets rank right now. 3rd in batting average, 7th in hits, and they're in the top 10 the team batting average with runners in scoring position. That's a real asset for any team. When you get runners in scoring position, hit the...
Here's a swing and a line drive. And he cannot cut it off. This one finds its way around, rolling all the way to the wall. And he's safely aboard second base.
Well, he finds a pitch he can drive, and his hands just fly through the strike zone. Perfect execution at the plate. And he's in scoring position with just 1 out.
And in the batter's box, it's Murphy. Grounded, hit on the ground. Davis. And he's out at first. Good hustle by the pitcher getting off the mound.
Well, that's a good heads-up play. You know, you have to know the hitter and his speed. Don't hesitate. Get over and beat him to the bag. Well, this is a big at-bat coming right now in a critical situation.
Swung on, grounded towards the hole. And he throws on to first. That'll retire the side. They get a man to third, but can't bring him home. Marlins 3, Mets 2. Vodker is the He'll start things off, bottom half, 8th inning. And on the mound, we'll see Pedro Vieto as they make the pitching swap. It's fouled off. And doing the pitching, it'll be Jonathan Broxton as Miami brings him in to close.
This is where the manager earns his money. Let's see if this move pays off.
Took something off, and it swung on and missed. 0-1.
Well, coming down to the wire right here, it's do or die time. You need base runners. Get somebody on. If you get the leadoff man on, it allows you to move them up with a bunt. To sacrifice bunt, you can get them on, get them over, and get them in. This is a critical situation.
It's hit foul by Torres. Swing and a miss. See you later. Andres Torres struck out.
Well, 2 strikes on the hitter, and he came inside. He just couldn't catch up quickly enough to it. He must have been thinking, right. Well, now hitting for the pitcher in this situation, he just has to try to get on base and see if he can't get something going offensively.
Strike one. Ball one.
Broxton too far outside. That's a ball. A swing and a fly ball to left center field. Out number 2.
Now we're counting down right here. They got 1 out left in this game, and I think offensively you're hoping for that long ball, but you'll take anything. Give a base runner, get somebody on.
Tejada at the plate. Had a base hit his last time up. That's hit foul by Tejada. And swung on a playable fly ball for the final out. That's going to be a wrap. Final out of the ball game.
A lot of fun to call this game. Enjoyable play on the field. The Marlins pulling out a win in a very good ball game.
Now our player of the game, and I don't think it's going to be a surprise. He's got our pick in this contest.
Well, the reason why you put a guy in the cleanup spot in the line is because he's the clutch guy. He's the guy you want up in those big situations. And that's how this game was decided today. He came up and he didn't disappoint, coming up with the big clutch hits to help his team win.
And Steve, that ought to send these folks home happy.
Well, no question about it. They
It's going to be Taylor, and he's got a shot with the bases loaded.
And they can really open up this game now with a big hit.
Pitcher wants this big hit more than anyone. And Hayward's there. And he gets to it and puts it up. Runners on the move. Here's what Atlanta has lined up. Tonight, the final game with Miami. Then they have to deal with Chase Utley as the travel schedule will pit them against Philadelphia. Boy, there's some great competition in that set of games. It'll be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then they take on the division rival. That series bound to be competitive. A lot of road games on the way. Kingery will be the pinch hitter.
Well, this is a big opportunity. You don't know when you're going to load the base.
Swung on, hit down the line and left. This one into the corner. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, the grand salami. They just stepped out into a commanding lead now. A grand slam, 5 runs up.
Atlanta's pitching right now, just getting crushed out there. They've got to find a way to get out.
Hudson with a windup. Swung on, hit. This one to Hayward. That one's taken care of. Little warm-up action going in the bullpen. That's a right-hander up and throwing.
Well, they're going to wait for the right-handed hitter on deck to get announced, and then they'll probably make the move to the pen.
Bottker is batting. Marlins lost last night, and after that losing in Game 1, time to try and salvage this 3-game set again.
He's been trying desperately to get back on track, but only 3 hits in his last 49.
And his struggles began in the middle of June. Just hasn't been able to put it together since then.
Strike 2, Tim Hudson. He's in charge. And you know, any great pitching coach will emphasize, boy, pitcher needs to get an out here. If you don't, you're going to have the potential for a very big inning offensively. Here's your big-time opportunity to put something up on the board. Line drive, and he's there to retire the side. So they add 5 more to the total and widen that gap. Sights and sounds of Turner Field at night, and the weather providing a great backdrop. Trying again here, just 1 for 3 thus far. And doing the pitching, it's going to be Philip Humber. As the Marlins bring in their reliever, first one to Hayward is the pitch. Just missed with the fastball, 1-0.
A front door 2-seam fastball, trying to throw it inside, letting it tail back to the inside corner. Couldn't quite catch the corner, though.
And misses below the knees, ball 2. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 2-1. Hit on the ground. Emus. One away. Midway through the season, let's take a look at what's coming up for the Marlins. This Atlanta series ends tonight. And they'll head out for a series against the Dodgers. The outstanding bat of Matt Kemp. Team that beat them pretty good in the last series. That'll be a 3-game series. Team they beat in the previous series between the two. So they'll be out and about over a good bit of that upcoming schedule. Here's the pitch. Brian McCann isn't fooled by that one. The count is even. 273, the lifetime number off the Marlins. Here's a swing and a ground ball. And they'll record the out at first base. Good timing on that play.
They might not have been able to get him out at the plate, but a short run over to first and still retires his man.
And it'll be Hicks at the plate. Last time up, flew out. Now the first pitch. First pitch to him, a curveball. Swung on and missed 0-1. Can't catch up with that swing and a miss, and it's now 0-2. Slider swung on and missed. Struck him out. That's going to retire the side. So they still can't buy a run. They've been held scoreless through 8. The Marlins still. And it's Buck batting. He's going to start the 9th inning. Homered back in the first inning. 2 men on, 2 men out. Here's the pitch. Has him out in front as he swings and misses. Strike 1. Can't catch up with it. 0-2. Swinging an easy ground ball to short. Bastardo throws on to first. Side is retired. No runs and a couple of hits. Leadoff hitter Martin Prado. Here's the first pitch. Lays off a called strike. 0-1.
Well, if you've done your homework, you know how you're going to attack this guy. You got to go with the slider here.
He delivers. He lets that fastball go by for a called strike. 0-2.
Let's see if they go right at him or if they're going to waste a pitch. They're way ahead right now.
That's hit foul by Prado. Prado again with that foul.
We see that pitch running in on the hitter's hands. Great defensive swing just to put that ball in play to stay alive.
Well, that pitch down and away is the toughest in the game to hit. That's a perfect pitch from the pitcher. Great piece of hitting.
And keep that in mind. Next time around, we'll see whether or not he changes up and how he throws to this guy.
Oh!
And with that right-hander warming up in the bullpen here, I'm not sure quite what they're thinking.
Well, with the left-handed hitter on deck, he's probably getting ready for hitters later in the lineup.
Here's the pitch. This is in the air, straight away left. Makes its way through for a single. Boy, what a time now to capitalize if they can.
We talk about a guy who's swinging a pretty hot bat right now. His 3rd hit of this ball game, and it comes with nobody out in the inning.
Creek gets a shot here. Hitless so far, he'll get another shot at it now. And doing the pitching, it'll be Jeremy Affeldt as they make the pitching swap. Johnny looks at this Atlanta lineup. What does he see?
But Jeremy Affeldt has established himself as one of the best left-handed specialists going right now in baseball. He has a great fastball, low to mid-90s, but that breaking ball is what makes it so special. He can lock up any left-handed hitter with that breaking ball. That's why he gets so many strikeouts.
The 3-1 delivery. That's going to be in there on a curveball for strike 2.
Look at the movement on this pitch. This 12-6 curveball just falls right off the table. Nearly impossible to hit this pitch anyway.
Down on strikes there. Nice piece of pitching work.
That's a hard-biting curveball right there with great break. Awfully tough to put in play. Swung right through it. Well, not hard to understand this one, Gary. You're going to bring in the pinch hitter for the pitcher. Hopefully a guy who can come up with a big hit. He has struggled just going 8 for his last 32.
A strike from Affelt. The pitch. Good eye by Bobby Abreu. It'll even the count up. And grounded to Taylor. The second for 1. Back to first. Not in time. Wanted 2. Won't get it. And we've got Sutton now coming up. Grounded out last time. And out on the mound, we'll see Josh Lindblom. He's been chosen to take over out there. Ball 1 to begin this at bat. 1-0. Ready with a 1-0. Hit on the ground. This could be the end of this ball game. And that ball gets through, and the runner's going to come home.
A big 2-out hit right there. That's his 3rd hit of the game so far. This man's doing what he has to do to help his team win.
And Freeman will come to the plate. And for this offense right now, something to be positive about. They just don't want to take a good look at the scoreboard.
All right, we saw a good piece of hitting right there, so tip your hat for that. But it doesn't improve their chances a whole lot more, as they've got a long way to go to catch up still.
Freddie Freeman watching it go by for a ball. Counts even. Steve, you got to make a start. This is that first step. Long way to go, and they haven't got any time left, so we'll see if they can make it work.
Well, they've got their work cut out for them, no question about that, but at least they're not giving up. Let's see if they can keep it going, Gary.
Hit on the ground. This could be the end. And on to first for out number 3, and that's going to do it.
Fans going home unhappy in this one. Their offense just did not get it done as the opposing pitching just shut them down. Wow.
As we check out the highlight reel of our player of the game.
Well, you know what they say, that everyone loves to see the long ball when you come to a game.
And you don't often get the bats going on the Friedberg gets a turn here, and he's got a shot with a bases loaded.
And they can really open up this game now with a big hit.
Pitcher wants this big hit more than anyone. And it's fouled away. Lilly sends the 0-1 pitch. This is that fastball, already 0-2.
Up over 30 pitches in this inning, and that is laboring right now. This is the time to capitalize. Get him early.
Swung on, missed, curveball, struck him out, 2 down.
You know, what I like about this is on 0-2, he didn't mess around. He didn't try to nibble to get him chase off the plate. He goes right at him and just gets the strikeout.
McGilberry now digging a hole as he comes to the plate. Well, Miami picked up the win yesterday, so they take game 2 of the 3-game set. They lost game 1, now the opportunity to claim the winner of the series against the Dodgers. Hit in the air to left center. This one into the gap, rolling towards the wall. 1 run scores, and Buck also scores. There's the throw. Little warm-up action going in the bullpen. That's a right-hander up and throwing.
Well, they're going to wait for the right-handed hitter on deck to get announced, and then they'll probably make the move to the pen.
Miami, they are happy to just carry this momentum. Kingray at the plate. And, Steve, the offense continues to produce. They keep building on it.
That last hit puts a little bit more daylight in this lead right now, Gary. They keep tacking on early.
Runners at second and third and 2 down. And here's the first one. Now here's a grounder towards the hole. And he'll step on first to retire the side. Nice jolt of offense. Second inning, putting up some runs. The Marlins lead it 3-0. Nothing like it. Dodger Stadium here in Los Angeles. Weather just great. And in the batter's box, here's Mitchell. And here's a quick summary of how this guy's mixing up his pitches. How's he doing?
Well, one pitch we've seen a lot of is that four-seamer. Seems to me like he's relying on that way too much.
You know, one of the things I've been noticing, he has not been throwing the slider as much as we're used to seeing it. And it could be a tremendous weapon for him. We'll see if he leans on it more heavily later in the game, because he
Lilly sends the 0-1 pitch. Pops him up and way up there. Two retired here.
Well, the National League has some real tough teams, guys. Here where the Miami Marlins sit right now. First in stolen bases, fourth in triples, and they're in the top 10 of team batting average. That depth and length of the lineup paying big dividends for this team as they seem to find ways to get base hits.
And it's Buck batting. He singled and later scored in his last time up. Lilly with a pitch. Swings on that first pitch, misses the fastball, 0-1.
Well, climbing the ladder on him right there. He just throws that fastball right by him up in the zone.
Line drive. Throws to first, side is retired. Well, runs with a couple of hits and two left on. And the Dodgers, their turn coming up. And James Loney stands in.
He has struggled, just going 8 for his last 51 at bats. Struggling since the end of June has been the problem. Can't find a way out of this slump right now, and he's got to start.
And here's the first one. Out in front on that one, strike one. And Steve, you give up that big fly ball, now trailing further in this one. Pitching's got to find a way to shut this down right now.
Well, that's right. And listen, now with the bases empty, you've got to get.
Runners at first and third with 2 away. Takes a swing, but he's too late on that one. Strike one.
A lot of times when you try to overswing, a lot of times it slows your bat down. That's what happened here.
And here's Davis. He takes off. And his throw, he is out. Great throw. So they pick up a run on the home run and add to their lead. For those of you just joining in, I'm Gary Thorne along with John Kruk and Steve Phillips. We bring you Major League Baseball here on 2K Sports. Grounded out his last time up. And starts him out here. And he swings and hits this one foul. Foul! Oh, 1 pitch, a fastball, swung on and missed, 0-2.
Well, a lot of times movement will fool a hitter, but it looked like right here the velocity on that pitch.
He's running, heading for second. Slider, swung on and missed, 2 down. On to first, safe. Can't get the back end of that one.
The pitch is too close to take, but you've got to try to make contact with it. Swings right through it, strike 3.
Davis into the batter's box. He's got the second most homers in the ball club. First pitch on the way. Davis making contact, but he'll foul that one away. Here's the delivery. Ground ball. Mitchell throws on to first. Side is retired. No runs on a hit, and they'll strand him. Marlins 4. The Dodgers nothing. And here's Matt Kemp. Steve, let's take a look at what he's getting done out there on the mound.
You know, you throw that fastball down, the hitter's got to go down and get it. And because he's changed their eye level, they just can't get down far enough. A lot of ground ball outs.
Now Buck spots the pitch. Checked his swing that time. It misses. 1-0. On the way. Swing and a miss by Kemp on that one to not the count. Batting 3 for 13 lifetime off Josh Johnson.
Here we go, Dodger.
Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss, and he's behind 1-2.
Some kind of phenomenal game from Johnson today. He is on top of it.
We have seen a great pitching performance on the mound and a tremendous use of that strike zone that's been on display here.
Well, you can see with the success he's having, and the numbers prove it. He stayed consistently tricky throughout this game.
No, that's right, John. No question.
Kemp puts it on the ground. Friedberg. One away. State Farm takes a look at our leaders and extra base hits in the league.
I see neither of these guys content with the single. They're always going for something more. They can drive the ball and never satisfied with taking one base. They always push the envelope trying to extend and get an extra base.
One away for Andre Ethier. And one of the top 10 averages right now. And the first pitch. And he watches the low pitch from Johnson.
He's having some kind of season this year, Gary. Really the guy leading this team's offense and some kind of offensive production.
Now the 1-0 pitch. Hit on the ground. Davis picks it. And they'll record the out at first base. Good timing on that play.
He might not have been able to get him out at the plate, but a short run over to first, and he still retires his man.
And in the batter's box, here's Mitchell. How's he attacking on the first delivery? Let's look here.
Well, when you go 0-1, You get 1-1. He's gotten 11 guys out in this game after going 0-1 in the count.
And out on the mound, we'll see Josh Lindblom. He's brought in to take over for the Marlins.
If it were me, I'd leave the starter in the game. I think you're taking him out too early right now. I'd go to the bullpen a little bit later.
And another foul ball. Plays off the off-speed pitch that ends up in the dirt. Here's a swing and a liner to left center. This one into the alleyway. Should be extra bases. And this rolls all the way to the wall. So there are two men down here, but they do get a man in scoring position.
He takes this 1-2 pitch down in the zone. He's able to go down and get it. Get a good part of the bat on the ball and pick up the base hit.
That's a tough pitch to hit. When you're behind in the count, you just want contact, and he got it. The first pitch. First pitch, fastball, 0-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball off the inner edge. 0-2.
Well, anytime you can locate your curveball on the inside and the outside part of the plate, you're going to have a great day. This one here, he throws on the inside part of the plate, just enough to fool the hitter to get him to swing through it and miss it.
Well, that half inning came to a close. A strikeout ended it. So they can't push across any runs. They've been shut out through the first 6. The Marlins still lead. It's Amos at the plate. He'll lead off the 7th. He's going to get us started. 8th inning. That will bring up Russell Martin. He's going to come on as a pinch hitter.
Now being brought in now to hit for the pitcher. Hopefully he can get a base hit to see if they can increase this lead.
Hairston Jr. coming in to hurl. He's been chosen to take over out there. He swings on that 0-0 delivery, misses the fastball. Strike one. Pitch on the way. And it's 0-2. Martin's going to have to cut down on his swing here. Fouled away.
Foul!
Here's a fly ball to straightaway left. That's one away. We are through the first half of the season, and here's a look at the race in the Eastern Division. Brought to you by State Farm. First place, the Marlins. In second place, it's the Phillies. In third place, it's the Braves. Nationals in fourth place. And down in last place, the Mets. Friedberg at the plate now. Ground out victim last time through. Hitless so far, he'll get another shot at it now. Takes a swing at that fastball. Can't connect. 0-1.
Well, that's just one of those the pitcher says, here it comes, try to hit it. Fastball hitter. He wanted that pitch. He just didn't quite come up with the swing.
Ground ball headed Loney's way. No problem with that one. And time to look at our leaderboard, brought to you by State Farm. These are the staffs supporting the lowest batting average against. The Brewers number 1, the Giants second. The Cubs grounded up the middle. Olchin. And he throws on to first. That'll retire the side. And they aren't able to get anything going in this half inning. 3 up, 3 away. And here come the Dodgers. This is the home half of the 8th. And James Loney stands in. Mark Lowe is pitching. He's brought in to take over for the Marlins. Here's a ground ball by Loney. And that gets down. Loney, a base hit.
Well, the National League has some tough teams, certainly, and here's where the Dodgers sit right now. 5th in triples, 7th in batting average with runners in scoring position, and they ranked in the top 10 in ERA. Pitching a major reason why this team wins games. Pitching and defense the key, pitching particularly.
It's going to be DeJesus. He bounced out his last time. And that one fouled off by DeJesus. He deals. Inside for a ball, evens the count at 1.
Well, you rarely see a pitcher try to throw a changeup inside. You know that was a mistake right there.
Shot towards the hole. So that will put Matt Kemp on the hot seat. Just kind of lean in, Steve, and slap that thing the other way on that kind of pitch.
Well, you can't pull that pitch. If you do, it's going to be a ground ball to short. You want to punch it to right field. He's one of the best at doing it.
0 for 3 to this point. DeJesus is on at first. Loney's at second. Here's the first pitch. He takes that one, and Lowe has him 0-1. And it's 0-2. Kemp will be careful. They'll try and K him.
Look for the pitcher to try to expand the strike zone here. The hitter has to swing at anything close.
Oh, tough one to lay off right there, that fastball. 1-2.
On this 1-2 count, the batter has to protect the plate. The numbers indicate he's willing to chase if you throw it out of the zone.
And a good eye there by Matt Kemp. Stays away from it. It's even. Low and a bit outside for a ball. 3-2 now.
Well, that's a tough pitch right there to lay off of. That changeup down and away and out of the strike zone. But the hitter must have been looking for it because he wasn't fooled at all.
Well, he finished that one off with a strikeout. Nice pitch.
Well, Gary, that's an outstanding slider. That great late action. With 2 strikes, not much you can do with that one. Tough one to hit.
Andre Ethia looking to knock in a run. Lifetime real good. 383 off the Marlins.
And you know, Gary, a lot of times you just see the other team's jersey and you know you have the confidence that you can hit against them.
Slider just misses. 1-0.
A pitch like that just locks the hitter up when it's in on the hands.
Here's the 1-0. He lets the 1-0 pitch go by. 1-1. There's a swing and a drive. Deep right field. Now it's 2 down. That keeps those runners at first and second. The throw. Slide, and he is safe at third. Just beat the throw.
They followed the advanced scouting reports to a T. They played the outfielders back that time, and he hit it right into the teeth of the defense.
And in the batter's box, here's Mitchell. He doubled his last time to left center. That's down. The run's coming in. DeJesus headed for third. Throw low in the dirt. He is in at third.
Well, he's having himself a day right here in this one. 2-out hit right there. That's his 3rd hit of the game so far.
And it's Sands batting. You're looking at a lot of determination right now. They are closing in. These are crucial at-bats. 2 men on, 2 men out. And doing the pitching, it's going to be Philip Humbert. He's brought in to take over for the Marlins. A swing and a fly ball to left center field. And the sides retired as they head into the dugout. So they stretch across a run. 3 hits and a couple left on. LA gets some much needed protection right there. They'll try to whittle this lead down even more. And if you are just tuning in, hi, Gary Thorne along with John Crutch, Steve Phillips. We bring you Major League Baseball on 2K Sports. King pops him up. And he puts that one away, one down. Davis into the batter's box. Ground out victim last time through. Popped into foul territory down the left side. He catches that, and that's out number 2.
Well, the hitter's not going to be happy with himself there. He got his pitch to hit, but too far out in front, too anxious, just skied the third for an easy out.
It's Emos at the plate. We'll try it again here. Just 1 for 3 thus far. We're trying to get things going here. Home half of the ninth inning. You can feel that crowd rallying behind him right now. And we're going to get to see Eduardo Sanchez pitching as Miami brings him in to close. And the bottom of the ninth starts with a strike.
Well, like right now, they're looking to get a couple guys on and see if they can't get somebody to hit one out of the ballpark right here. So base runner's the key. Do not run into outs. Be conservative on the bases. You're down 3.
Fastball is a waste pitch that time, 1-2.
Well, Gary, his 2-strike approach, he does not handle the fastball very well. So let's see if they attack him with some heat.
Swung on, lined over the first baseman's head. And that's through a base hit.
Well, this is not what you imagine when you go out to make a pitching change. You bring a guy in from out of the bullpen, and the first hitter he faces, he serves up a hit. Let's see if he can get out of this.
Bolton's in the batter's box. Watches a fastball that's in there, 0-1. He delivers. Good power curve there. He's ahead, 0-2. Big swing and a miss on a heater. Strike him out, 1 down.
But Gary, he threw a 2-seamer. Here's K-Cam. You've got to have better plate discipline than that. With 2 strikes, you need to be defensive and try to make contact. But when you get a fastball, you need to read whether it's a strike or not. I can't blame them for bringing in the pinch hitter right now for the pitcher. They've got to do something to get this offense going and try to get back into the game.
Ball 1 to begin this at bat, 1-0. Here's Sanchez, 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Juan Rivera, no contact, evens the count. Watches that fastball go by, and now he's at 1-2. The 1-2 on its way. This is in the air, straight away left. That is in. It's going to bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, anytime you're sitting on the bench, it's hard to tell what a pitcher's really throwing unless you're getting that. Batter's box. You come off the bench very cold like he was. That is huge.
And James Loney stands in. He singled in his last at bat. Little warm-up action going in the bullpen. That's a right-hander up and throwing.
Well, they're going to wait for the right-handed hitter on deck to get announced, and then they'll probably make the move to the pen.
And doing the pitching, it'll be Jeremy Effel. We'll try to close this one out for Miami. It's going to be DeJesus. Had a couple of hits, 4 trips to the plate.
Ball!
Here's the pitch. Swung on grounder. This might be it. Emus. And that'll do it, everybody. That's out number 3. This ball game over.
A tough loss here for this crowd today, but boy, do they see some kind of pitching performance from the visiting team.
And it's about time to award our player of the game, don't you think? Josh Johnson really pitched well today.
Well, great starting pitching usually leads to wins for your team, and he came through with a great one in this one, and that's basically the definition of what it takes to become the player of the game.
And, Steve, they're able to put this one away in the record books. It's a good victory.
Hey, anytime you can go on the road and beat another major league team, you've got to consider yourself fortunate.
I guess it's that.